Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's pop the weights on. Let's think about them just as if. So the nice thing about the weights, what they're doing too, is they're challenging your upper body in a different way, but they're not super heavy. Like mine are 2 pounds. They're not really, really heavy, but they're just enough to give me just a little bit of resistance and let me work a little harder. Okay, I'm just gonna hit mute so I don't end up recording everybody as we go. And we'll start here. Okay. So I want you to start. Your shoulders are gonna be nice and relaxed down your back. You've got little wrist weights on, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, even 1 pound is more than enough. And you're gonna start to roll up. And then you're gonna roll down a little bit and let your body kind of go into this, a little bit of a C curve. So as you pick it up, you're gonna think about rounding and using your torso and your back and your shoulder. And as you roll forward, you're gonna think about kind of letting your head drop a little bit. So let's do 2 more like this, nice and loose. You're wearing these weights, so it gets a little bit harder from the beginning. 1 more, good. And then you're just gonna let your arms come down to the side. Shift your weight from side to side in your hips. And think about sending your tailbone back a little bit. I've got my hair in my face today. We're just gonna shift side to side. If you wanted to, you could put your hands here. It's gonna challenge your legs a little differently. I'm just gonna keep mine here for now. I did a lot of work on my legs yesterday. So we're gonna go over from side to side. And then we're gonna start to pull our core up like somebody zipped us towards the ceiling. And then if you want, you don't have to do it just yet, but if you wanted to, you could reach your arms gently towards the ceiling, letting your fingers relax a little. So you're kind of lifting from the side body rather than the wrist. You're gonna do another 2. 1 more, good. And then I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna round to the front again and pick it up. So think about using your torso, your back, your sides, your front. Good, lift and open, round, pick it up, squeeze your abs, squeeze your glutes even. And then from here, you're gonna take those arms, round them to the front and let your body kind of, almost like you're rounding over a big beach ball, just let it go, bend your knees. And then can you from here, let those arms go even heavier. It's gonna stretch your low back a little. Bend your knees, turn your toes slightly in, take a deep breath. Exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale, bend them. So we're just gonna be here for a sec. Try to keep your head nice and heavy so the back of your neck is stretched. And then the front of your body is really folded. The back of your body is where you're getting all that stretch. And then just hang here for a second. Walk your feet a little closer so they're about hip distance apart. And roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Nice. Take a big breath. You're gonna go back to these little lifts. You're gonna go up, up, up. Now what I want you to start thinking about is what happens if I drop the hip, and imagine I'm pulling off that hip as I go for 4, perfect. 3, should feel a little more challenging with the weights. 2 and 1, take the arms, you're gonna roll forward. This time though, I want you to pick it up, take a deep breath in, and then let your arms go forward, lift them up. Okay, from here, I'm gonna step back a little bit. I want you to make sure you can see your fingertips and your eyes. Then slide 1 arm up, stretch out that entire side. Stretch the other one out. Stretch the entire side. Okay, let's do it again. Let's go up high. Make sure you're lifting from your side body, reach. Try the other side, high, reach from your side body. And then you're gonna come over, bend your right leg, let this left arm come over. You're gonna bend, and then you're gonna bring that elbow in. Now, I'm gonna go a little lower in my legs because I'm gonna start to feel my inner thighs lighting up. I'm gonna go over and in. Good, 2 more. Over and in. 1 more. Over and in. Take that arm, open your chest, so kind of push your chest forward. Whoo, let your arm go back. You should feel super stretch in your pec. Let the arm come over, release it, palm towards your body, press out, reach, lift, open. Try it again. Open to the back, bring it in, bend, shift a little deeper into that right leg, open, pull back. Now remember, at any point, if these weights start to become a challenge for your neck, you can get rid of them, but I do want you to think about those arms connected to your back. Try to use it, lift up, take a breath. over. Good, we'll try the other side. You're gonna reach up, woo, and pull in. So you can go really long as you shift the weight into the leg on the way back in. So don't lose it. You're gonna go in, pull, reach, and pull. One more, reach it out, and pull. Now stay out, take a breath, let those inner thighs open. Open up your chest. So really think about, push your chest forward and your arm back, and then bend, and then round. Remember, the weight is adding on. So you do want to be sure that you're opening from the chest, reaching, and then going slowly. So you don't just use your low back. That's it. Lift it up, take a breath. One more. Out, pull back, reach, round, tuck your tail under. Make sure that left glute is on. Reach it up, take a breath, and over. Okay, we're gonna go back to sides, but walk your feet closer. You're gonna go up, up. Now I want you to think about using your torso in the front. Yes, pull for 4. For 3, get a little further forward. For 2, for 1, then you're gonna go on a diagonal. Now the diagonal, I want you to bend the back arm, straighten the front arm. You're gonna go 4, 3, front arm gets straight, back arm stays bent. 2, good, 1 more. All right, here's where it gets a bit trickier. You're gonna tap, bring it in and tap. These weights get heavy. Like I feel like when I lift, I gotta really use my core. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. I'm gonna bring that back up. I'm gonna roll those shoulders back, take a big breath, turn my toes forward, arms lift. Okay, this should already be hard. Okay, slide it in, squeeze, pull out. Slide in, squeeze, pull out. Okay, think about this. When you draw your shoulders in and up, you're gonna feel your neck tightening, and then I want you to focus on the lengthening part. Out, out, out. Keep going, keep going, keep going with the thumb. Now press down, down, down. With the weights on, it's pretty impossible to miss which side is a little bit easier to work than the other. So you're gonna pull down for 8, 7, go a bit slower, 6, yep, 5, pull in, squeeze your glutes now, 4, 3, pull everything up, 2, and then on 1, give me little circles, circles, circles. Make sure the circle is under. So try not to make the circle come from the top, make it go under. Let's do 4, good job, 3, 2, 1, go the other way. Now notice, these muscles under here are super hard to get to. So I want you to be sure that when you're circling, you're staying in those little muscles. Squeeze your glutes, 2 more, that looks good. Now take the arms in and open. I want you to imagine from chest end, right where it connects to your arm, you're getting expansion, but you're also squeezing the back. So you squeeze your back, you bring it in, you squeeze your back, you bring it in. I don't want you to go here. It's too much for your arms, especially with the weights on, but I do want you to squeeze your shoulders. Pull, squeeze your shoulders. Pull, squeeze your shoulders. Pull 1 more, and then release. Okay, my arms are already sufficiently on fire. I'm just gonna let you know that. I think yours probably are too. Bend your knees, pull your abs in. I want you to think, scoop your tailbone. So tuck it under and scoop it. Now send it back, but zip the front of your body. Elbows in, kick back. Okay, stay here. Can you reach the fingers towards the floor, right towards your heels? Take a breath in. Breathe out. Start to lift. Exhale for 8, 7 quick breaths. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend and extend. Woo, this is the hard part. When you bend and extend, make sure you're not shifting your elbows in space. They stay in the same spot for 4. For 3, lift your chin a little. 2, and 1. Nice job. Now, 1 at a time. Bend, extend. So you're here. Bend, extend. Oh, bend, extend. Notice which one's easier to work than the other. 4, 3, 2, oh my goodness, and 1. Bring it in, give it a little shake. We're gonna go back to chest. So I really wanna work on pulling. So my palms are facing the floor, elbows back, open. Elbows back, open. We're gonna do 6, 5, go slow. Squeeze your shoulders together as you come back. 4, so right here, squeeze your shoulder blades together like you've got a little pencil between them. 3, now relax your neck. Maybe drop your elbows a little if you feel it in your neck. 1 more. And then bring that down. Shoulders come up, shoulders go down. Walk your feet together, but don't go into the hinge this time. Stay upright, squeeze back. 8, oh my goodness, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk the feet together even more. You're gonna bend one more time. So send your tailbone to the back of your mat, so right behind you. Take your arms in. I want you to go back, hold. Bring it in. Other one, back, hold. Feel the tricep holding you in place. Bring it in. You're gonna go 6. Yes. 5. Your palms return to the same spot as if you've got that little ball between your hands. Let's do 2 more. Just notice they're not going to work the same. It's going to be different, but you're going to focus on making them even if you can. And bring it in. All right, give it a little shake. Take these off. We'll put them on our legs. We're just going to do some pliés with these on, which changes it, right? Like I find when I have pliés and I put ankle weights on, what I find is that I'm more stable. So if we can, think about the ankle weight, kind of helping that whole foot stay anchored to the floor. I'm just gonna put my hair back. It gets sweaty in this. So if you've got to walk your feet in closer, which sometimes I do, that's fine. But I want you to draw the weight in, push your knees back, feel the ankle weights drawing you into the floor. Push away from them. Feel them drawing you into the floor, push away from them. You're gonna go 8. Now, in theory, you should be able to fire the outside of your legs better. 7. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm kind of pushing back towards the window. 6. Good squeeze. 5, think about pressing back, squeezing up. 4 more, zip your core. Good job. 3, this should be different. Ankle weights make it different. 2, the baby toe, ground it. And then on 1, oh my goodness, stay here. Push back, push back. Now can you push back from the knees? As if you're trying to take the knees to the baby toe for 6. 5, untuck your tailbone if it's tucked. 4, 3, 2. I always laugh because I'm always reminded these are never easy. Squeeze it up, fire up your glutes. Hold it, keep firing your glutes like somebody's pulling you all the way up. Hold that. And then press back. Pull it up again, squeeze, fire the outside and the back of your legs, and then press it open. Push, and then open. Push, and then open. 1 more, push, open, stay low. Pull your ribs in, get your chest over your hips. So try not to be here, try to be here. Arms up, take a breath. Reach and reach. These ankle weights, I'm gonna keep these legs honest. We're gonna go 4, 3, oh my goodness, 2, and 1. Take the arms up, push down, take a breath, lift. Oh, you're gonna do it again. You should feel the difference with these weights on. Press those knees back, let those hips go down low, pull. And switch. For 4, for 3, can we get lower? 2, you got it. 1, press up. Okay, you know I like to do things in 3, so we're gonna do it again. Bend, lower. 1, 2, we're only doing 4, 3, and 4. Press, open. Okay, turn your left foot in, open up this right inner thigh, push your hip back. Now, we talked about this, I think yesterday in class. What I want you to think about is, can you push your hips back? Stretch the inner thigh, but don't wiggle your hip. It's harder than you think. So put your hands on your hip joint. I need to see your hands right on those hip bones. Shift. So if your hands are right on the hip bones, you're just shifting side to side. You're gonna figure out really quick where your hips wanna rotate. Let's do 1 more. And then walk it in. I'm not gonna make you do pliés again, but I am gonna make you bend. Shift 1 hip up, open this right inner thigh. Yeah, and then switch. And then switch. I'm laughing because every time I do it, I discover something new about what's going on in my hip joint. and how smart my body is and wants to figure out how to avoid the hardest part. I'm gonna get lower and fire it up for 4, for 3, woo, for 2, oh God, my glutes on fire, and 1. Now push up, squeeze, take a breath, walk your feet in. We're gonna go sideways. So I'm gonna go sideways. You guys don't have to go sideways if you don't want to, but I want you to fold. Pull your hips up and back, hands on your knees. Take a breath. Step your feet out about hip distance apart, which is probably like a fist. Let your arms go. Let them be next to your knees here, okay? So your low back is on this lift. Now, can you round from your low back? Imagine all the tension in your back dropping through your fingers. Let your head go down, press into your feet, and then you're gonna go bend and extend those knees again for 4, 3, 2, it's tiny, and 1. Roll up, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your entire back body. Now, I'm gonna have you step one leg back, the other one forward. So I'll start with my right back, probably your left back if you're mirroring me. Push this hip and this heel into the floor. Take a breath in, push forward. The ankle weight is gonna keep that back heel on the floor. Now just do a tiny bend. I actually don't mind the way, and then shift forward, the way that this keeps me connected to the floor. Because when I have them on, what's happening is the floor that it would normally kind of shift on, I can't. I've got this extra weight pulling me down, and then it gives me this real stretch in that calf as I go forward and back. I can feel where I want to shift from, and I only go as far as I can go where I keep that footprint on the floor and back. Okay, now you're gonna step the other leg back, do the other side. We have to take them off to do quads because we don't wanna turn our quads on. We've already done that. We wanna release them in a second. So shift back and forward. See, ankle weights make a difference. So push forward, bend back. Can you focus on heel and then balls of your feet? Heel and then balls of your feet. So you're kind of going, shifting forward and back on the front and back foot from the heel to sort of the knuckles or the balls of your feet. Okay, now take these ankle weights. You're gonna drop them off for a second. We're gonna come to the floor in a minute, but just put them to the side so we can do a deep stretch for your quad. So we wanna make sure that as we do the deep stretching for our quad, we don't have any extra. Let's start, let's start with a nice hip cleaner. I was gonna do it differently, but let's start with this. So pull up. Imagine you still have that ankle weight on your right leg, but pull up and move your leg in the socket and be really aware that you're moving in the socket. Yeah, balance is always a challenge. Zip it, zip it. Take your hands out if you feel like you're falling. You're gonna go 4. That's why people on high wires take their hands out. It helps. 3, 2, oh boy, keep pulling up, and 1. Now take that leg, step it back, same leg. Take a breath, push into the front heel and the front toes, tuck the back hip under, slow. I mean, so slow. Keep pushing your hip forward as you bend the knee. I can't go all the way down. If I go all the way down, it means I'm losing the upper body. So come forward with the hip first, bend the knee, pull the same shoulder up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Oh boy. And then come out of it, and then 1 more like that. So I'm really focused. Hip flexor, and then quad. Really get your back nice and straight for me here, breathe. It's almost like you're doing that psoas hip flexor stretch on the floor, but you're doing it standing, which creates that extra stretch in the back knee. So back foot now, switching legs. You wanna think lift. So I'm lifting first. So my heel comes up. Then I bend, then I pull my ribs up, and then I come down slow. See, with an ankle weight, it would be too much along the back. It would pull on your low back on this one, so you're gonna go without the ankle weight here. Push this hip forward, breathe, and down. Woo, I'm gonna do 2 more. If you can, and it helps, go down and up. Oh, I didn't do my hip cleaners. That's okay, we'll do them after. Bend, and come on up. Okay. Now do your hip cleaners on this side. Don't worry, didn't forget them. But I was like, wait, what the arms? Shift and move. It'll be interesting to see How does that play out in our body later? Let's do 4. Take your hands out. 3, stand strong on this leg. 2, gather all the work from the leg, pull it up. And 1, nicely done, shake it out. Okay, before we move on to the floor, I wanna do one big move without weights on so that we can really stretch our body, because when we come to the floor, it's gonna get super hard. So you're gonna press your feet. Oh, I guess that's relative. I think it's super hard. Take your arms up, bend your knees. Give me a little circle, but make this circle right in front of you. So the bottom of your circle is around your knees. The top of your circle is right over your head with slightly bent knees. One more. And then go the other way. This is one of the beauties of this program, right? We make circles, we make shapes, we do all this stuff with our body that we don't do in real life. And I say that like in air quotes, because we can still do it and we still want to keep that. All right, now bend the knees a bit. Take your arms to about, I would say probably about waist height. Pull your ribs in, round, but go slow. Like I want you to imagine that as you reach for the front, somebody's pulling you to the back. And then one more like this. Reach for the front, pull to the back. Now, can you go the other way? Can you think about untucking your tailbone and just pushing your shoulder blades back? 2, good, nice. 3, keep your arms at the same height. Good. Now take the arms, you're gonna lift them up. You're gonna pull all the muscles from this right side, and then you're gonna bend both hands over the knees and lift up. Go slow. I want you to feel like as you tip, you've got all of this, and then you can round as much as you need to get both hands over that knee. Lift up, breathe. And down. Lift up, breathe. And down. Lift up, breathe. And down. And then one more, lift up, over to this side, finish it off, take these arms back up. We're gonna do circles again, but let your shoulders have a little shake. Pull up, reach, bend. Give me circles that are a little more forward this time. 3, keep pulling your shoulders back. It's that big circle. 2, good job. 1 more. Nice job. Go the other way. Focus on QL and lats and all the muscles along your spine getting length and then getting compression. Okay, now stay down on this one. Take that arm, sweep it around, get lower in your plie. This time we're gonna do circles to the front for 4. Can you stay low? For 3. For 2. Oh my goodness, for 1. Can you go the other way? Circle for 4. For 3. For 2, press those knees back. For 1, good job. Shoulders back, let these arms come up. Can you pull everything, even fingers in towards your body? And come over, lift up and reach. And drop. Lift up and reach. And drop. 1 more, lift up and reach. And drop. Hands up, chest forward. So push your chest forward like this, but pull your ribs in. So your back is kind of a little bit rounded at the upper body. Push. Take your time. Lift up, pull. And then push. And then lift up, pull. So you're really thinking up, and then between your shoulder blades, down. All right, release that. Give it a little shake. Let's come to the floor. So if you need to move your camera, new side to the floor, you can do that. If you have a Pilates ball, you may want to grab it. I'm gonna grab mine. So we're gonna go onto the floor, and while we're on the floor, we're gonna use all of these different tools to get into our core. So let's start on our back. The ball's gonna go between our knees, and we're gonna squeeze like crazy. Like I want you to feel like as you squeeze, you can engage those low abs. And then we're gonna release. So you're gonna do this 4 or 5 times to really light it up. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release and squeeze. Okay, walk those feet closer. You guys can see me. I know you can't really see the back of my head, but okay, perfect. Now from here, while you're squeezing this ball between your inner thighs, can you take your hands behind your head, cradle your skull, not your neck, your skull. Curl up and lower down. Curl up and lower down. Curl up and lower down. And do another 4, 3, 2, good job, and 1. Okay, now can you stay up there? Can you pulse for 8, 7 from upper abdominals, 6, you will know if you're using your neck, because if you take your thumb and you just line it up along those muscles that are from the back of your skull to the shoulders, you'll feel them turning on, but I want them off. 4, you can always use your own tactile response with that thumb there to know if you're using your neck. 3, 2, and 1. All right, lower yourself down. Take the ball, pop it off to the side for now, and we'll just do toe taps each side. Tap, okay, but the trick with this toe tap, and I think we talk about it all the time, I'm gonna remind you, the foot that's on the floor, push it down as if you're about to go into single leg bridge. So activate from the heel to the hamstring, from the hamstring to the glute. And then see if you can find those low abs. And then you're gonna lift and tap. Lift and tap. 4 more. Yeah, 3 more. 2. And 1. Try the other side. Pick up the leg, anchor it. So the leg that's on the floor is anchored. You're gonna tap and bring it back. Tap and bring it back. 4, 3, 2. Try not to let your pelvis wiggle. And 1. Okay, check your back. Did you start to curl your back up off the floor? Can you now kind of imprint your spine where you're tucking your tailbone under and then towards the ceiling, and then you're gonna do bicycles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, draw them in, give that back a little bit of a stretch. And then reach back wherever you've got that Pilates ball. There it is. You're gonna slide it underneath your shoulder blades. So I've got it kind of right up here. I don't know if you can see, it's right between my shoulders. Yep, perfect. Okay, so I want us with it right between our shoulders to look at our hips. Are they already wiggling or pivoting? Could you draw your low abdominals in? Even take your fingers, put them on the front, take a breath in. Exhale. Good. Now, while they're contracted, curl up and then come down and try not to lose that contraction. So you're going to squeeze and lower. Squeeze and lower. Squeeze and lower. I'm going to do another 4. 3. 2. I really want to keep these hips quiet. And 1. Good. Okay, hands can come here for a second. Roll the ball a little bit more to the mid-back. You're not going to stay here for long, don't worry, but roll it to your mid-back for a second and just see if your hips kind of shift from side to side again. Pull those hips in. Can you pick up one leg, look at the opposite hip, and then switch? Okay, what I'm looking for here is as you do this, do you notice if you can keep your pelvis super, super steady? Like it's not wiggling left to right, it's not tipping. Can you feel the way your low abs have to contract to make this happen? 4 more. This, maybe we should have done this in the beginning, but this is a really, really good visual cue that tells you, oh, interesting. I need to be more connected here so that I don't lose it and go into my low back. Oh my goodness, my abs are on fire. Okay, now I want you to kind of roll that ball to underneath your sacrum. So you're going to have it under here. Now, again, if this does not feel good, you know you can always get rid of it, okay? This is like a prop. It's not meant to be something that hurts. It's meant to be something that helps. So Try something. Let your hips melt over the bowl for a second. You'll feel them pop towards the ceiling. Now draw it in and feel the way you create that ball shape again by coming off the ball and squeezing your low abs a bit. Now from here, can you take one leg? Oh, this is gonna get hard. You're just gonna bicycle it out for 4, almost like single bridge. 3, 2, 1. You're turning your hamstring on. Put that foot down on the floor. We're only doing 4, okay? I do not want you to go up and lose the leg that's on the floor. I want you to go up, press that leg on the floor. Feel that connection to the hamstring. Circle out for 4, 3, good job, 2, and 1. Good. Take the ball, move it off, draw your knees in, hold that for a second, and then reach back and grab your little ankle weights if they're close to you. They're going to become wrist weights in a second. I'm going to pop them onto my wrist. I know, so much on and off. So much on and off in this class, but you know, it is what it is. It's a bit of a mental workout too. So when I have these wrist weights on, I'm going to start, okay, let me shift over a little bit so that you guys can see. I'm going to take I'll start with my right arm. I'm going to tap and extend. My hand is on my hip of the leg that's moving, so I can feel if it moves. I'm going to go back and in, back and in. 6, 5. Try to exhale as you reach the leg away. 4, if you feel your neck, your head stays on the floor. 3, so you can be here, still effective. 2, and 1. Try the other side. So remember, you can always have your head still on the floor, okay? So if it bothers your neck, you don't have to pick it up. If it doesn't bother your neck, you're really going to think about using the entire side. So from under your shoulder, all the way to through your ribs, down to the opposite knee for 3, for 2, for 1. You should feel that connection. All right, now you're going to take your legs into this wide diamond. One hand, so I'll start with the hand closest to you, is going to press. So the thumb faces your body, the baby finger faces the ceiling. Other hand is going to support your head. You're going to push through. So it's like you're pressing something off of your chest. Try not to let your hips wiggle from side to side. You're going to push for 8, 7, 6, 5. Notice, do you wiggle your hips? Can you keep them flat? 4 more. That's it. This should be more low abs. You should also feel your arms a bit. And then switch. Take a breath. Take your hand. Imagine, and just make sure you don't have a super curve in your low back. Imagine that as you press, you've got like a tiny, imagine that Pilates ball now weighs 5 pounds and you're pushing it off your chest. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, keep the weights on your hands. You're gonna turn around and you're gonna come to tabletop, okay? So in tabletop, I need you to untuck your toes, draw your low abs in. You're gonna go into your arms here. Again, if it bothers your neck, you do not have to lift as high, okay? So pull your abs in. You're in a perfect tabletop. You're gonna lift your arm closest to the camera. Forward, down, side, in. Forward, down, side, in. 3 more. That's it. Reach. Now, here's the trick. Can you use your side body and your obliques? Can you make sure that your shoulder isn't coming up next to your ear on the side that's supporting you? You can always bend the elbow if you need to. I got 1 more. Pull in, out, and reach. Oh my goodness, try the other side. That is so hard. I feel like when I'm doing it, I so badly want to shift around. You go up, out, up, out. You're looking to take the wiggle out of your hips and your shoulders. I think I got 2 more. Up and out for progression. Just don't let your fingers stop. Just swing up and out. Ooh, okay, give those shoulders a little bit of a break. Take a breath. Switch these to your feet. Okay? Last thing with ankle weights. Last time I make you switch them, okay? So last little section. After this little leg sequence, you're going to stay in tabletop. We will go into our side legs, and then we'll stretch it out without any weights on. So don't worry. And you can do this workout as well without the weights. Like, you could always do that. I just know that, you know, when we're pretty advanced, we need to throw a little progression in there. Pull your abs in. I want to feel like if I came over there and I touched you, your abs would be on like crazy. I'm going to untuck my left foot, soften my elbows in towards my body. So my elbows are more in towards each other because I'm pretty hyper flexed. I want my shoulders to be on my back and my top of my shoulder to be away from my ear. Now you're going to pick up one leg. You're going to pump up, up. Okay, remember, and I know you know this, but I'm going to remind you, you're using your glute and your hamstring. You're going to go up, up. You don't have to go high. Up, up. I'm going to do 8, 7, 6, 5. You always have the option to go to your elbows if it hurts your wrists or your shoulders or your neck. And kick. Drop that heel. Take a breath. I'm going to take a wider stance with my arms. I'm going to lift and tap. Lift and tap. I'm looking for the length in my hamstring and then the challenge of that weight for 4. Look forward if you can. Neck stays long. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to do something different. You're going to bring the knee in and kick. In and kick. So you're going bent, extended, bend, extend. You've got to bend the elbows as you kick that leg up for 4. For 3, whoo. For 2, you don't have to go high. For 1, and bring that in, slide it back, take a stretch. Walk your hands off to the opposite side. So if you were lifting your right leg, you're going to walk off to the left. If you're working your left leg, you're going to walk off to the right. And then we're going to get your other side. Okay, so take your shoulders, pull them away from your ears, slide your elbows in, and then pick up the leg. You're going to go up again. Up again. That's it. Okay, so both of you are going to think about this for me. You're going to think, am I using my glute and my hamstring? Are my obliques on? And can I make sure I'm not just using my quad muscles? Can you make sure your neck feels nice? So it's not an extension or a flexion, it's straight. 4, 3, 2, oh my goodness, 1. Take that leg out straight. Push your heel back. Take a breath. Make one long line from your heel to the top of your head. Lift and lower. Yes. So try to think about lifting and lowering from that hamstring. Keep your low back really quiet. Pull those abs in for 4, 3, 2. If you need to know if you're using your low back and you can reach back there, you can always touch it. And then bend. And we're going to go into side kick. Side kick. In. Out. In. Out. In. I'm bending and kicking. Bringing it back for 4, 3, 2, oh my goodness, and 1. All right. Take a stretch towards the opposite side. So go into lateral child's pose, so forward, and then off to the side. Lateral side. Yeah, breathe in. See if you can hit that spot in your hip. That kind of connects the hip bone to the ribs on the back. Okay, we're going to lay on our side. We're going to do our side leg lifts. We're going to bend the bottom knee quite a bit. So I'm going to lay on, let's lay on your right side first. Yeah, perfect. That way I know if you're laying on your right side, I'm actually going to scoot back just a little. Scoot back, scoot back. Okay, there we go. Perfect. There. Now you can see me. My bottom leg is super bent. I'm going to lift and lower with the flattest hip joint I can. So it's almost like if I leaned these 2 hip bones against a wall, they'd be hitting it. I'm going to go up and down. My hand is supporting my head, up and down. I'm going to do 2 more, up and down, up and down. Now, I'm going to push away, anchor myself, use my bottom rib cage to hold me up. I find this so much harder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, bring them together. Your hips should still be stacked when you do that. Pick up the top leg, push back, 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 back. Look down and make sure that you're not taking the hip bone with you. You're pushing back for 8, 7, 6, 5. This leg is anchored on the bottom. 4, 3. Good job. 2, 1. Now take it forward. Okay, this is where it's going to get hard. Not that it wasn't hard before that, but I do want you to think you're extending and bending from hamstring. 8, 7, 6, super slow. 5. So if I were to look at you, your top hip bone would line up with your bottom hip bone. That's it. Let's do another 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg out, pull it as far away from you as possible. Take the arm up and reach. You can also slide away from the arm that's on the floor. Reach, reach, reach. Super stretch through that whole side body. Good. Bring that up. Let's do another quick stretch before we switch sides. Cross the leg you just had, up and over. Front foot can flex. You're just going into this kind of crossed over position. Yeah, that should help just get rid of some of the tension in the side of the hip before we do the other side. I know, it's always a work in progress. You guys can see me, you can hear me, you look good. Okay, perfect. Can you hear the beeping going on outside? Maybe, maybe not. Ah, interesting, funny. Okay, bend the bottom knee. So we're gonna lift and lower slow. So Yvonne, I think she's having her driveway kind of parking pad sorted out today. So there's a bunch of men outside doing some work. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Okay, let's do 2 more. And then we're gonna pop up. Okay, I want you to remember, even though you're using the ankle weights, you are still technically lengthening the muscle and then pulling back through the hip. Let's go up and down. I'm going slow because this is a harder spot for me to get. Can you make sure your hips are squared off? Can you make sure it's the side of the thigh that's facing the ceiling? Can we do another 5, 4, oh my goodness, 3, 2, and 1. Take that foot, you're gonna flex it, draw it in, stack the hips, hold yourself in this position. You don't have to scratch your nose. You're gonna push back, back. Okay, so because this is my side that has more movement, I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna make sure I'm connecting to glute and firing for 8, 7, 6, 5. It's very small. 4, make sure you're in glute, never low back. 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg forward without taking the pelvis forward. So I want you to think, can you bend, extend from hamstring? Maybe put your hand on your hamstring, feel it. As I kick out, you don't want to tip or rotate your pelvis. You want it to stay stacked. So here are the 2 hip bones. They're going forward, not up and down, forward. Yes. Do another 4. Use your hamstring. It's going to help with your low back. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Take that leg all the way out, stretch it, open and pull. So you're going to go all the way out with the leg, almost like somebody grabs your toes and slides it out. Don't rotate the leg in the socket, just pull it out. Toes are facing the floor. No, toes are facing the camera. So draw them up, breathe. Oof. All right, now you're gonna come back onto your back. You're gonna go into this nice little bridge position. You're gonna give me like 8 bridges so that your glutes fire up. And you're gonna drop your low belly down and you're gonna push up, fire the glute. You can put your hand back there and lower. I'm gonna do 8, 7, super slow. 6, keep your head and your shoulders on the floor. All you're doing is lifting the pelvis. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, take these off. Before we go into the stretch, I was thinking about it. I was like, I lied. I'm going to make you do one more set for abs. Take one leg into a figure four after you get those weights off. And then we're going to do one of my favorite ways to work obliques. I haven't done this for a while, so let's just try it. So go into what looks like your figure four, and then you're going to lift, rotate small, and bring it back down. This is super slow. It's one to lift, one to rotate, one to return, one to come down. Each move is hitting your muscles on a different angle. We're going to do another 5. Lift, rotate, center, down. Look down at your hips. Make sure they're not moving. So I'm really conscious of not letting my hips wiggle because that's my thing. If you can get all the way up, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. I cannot. That's just not how my body works right now. But I do want you to think about lifting, rotating, centering, lowering. I think I got 2 more. Lift, rotate, center, and lower. 1 more. Lift, rotate, center, lower, switch sides. You should feel that in your ribs and your sides, not in your neck. If you feel it in your neck, you go ahead and you change the position of how your elbows are. Closer should probably help. Lift, rotate, center, and lower. Lift, rotate, center, and lower. Exhale, rotate, center, lower. Okay, rotate, center, lift, rotate, center, lift, rotate, center, lift, rotate, center. 1 more. Lift, rotate, center, and bring it down. Okay, shake that out. Give these legs a little release. Bend your knees in. Let's combine low abs and inner thighs. Lift your legs. Open, close, bend, extend. Open, close, bend, extend. Now, can you keep your hips super quiet and flat? Bend, extend, open, close. Bend, extend, open, close. Lift your head if you want. Open, close, bend, extend, open, close, and then just bike it out high. Reverse your bike, grab your knees, roll up and sit up here. Okay, let's start to stretch it out. How am I doing for timing? Oh, good timing. Okay, I'm doing well. So we're gonna sit upright, and I mean, you also have the option of taking your feet like this if it feels better. I like this, but just remember what foot is in front because you're gonna switch it. So we're gonna wiggle ourselves into a position where you feel both hip bones. Take your hands out. I'm actually gonna wiggle back a little more so I feel that edge. Take your fingers and tent them on the floor. So they're like this. Take a breath in and open the back of your rib cage. So think about your rib cage like you're rolling the sides towards the floor. Take a breath in and out. In and out. And then start to gently walk over in the direction the front toes are pointing, but do not move your hip. This is as far as I can go. If I go any further, I'm going to move my hip. Yeah. Let those shoulders be on your back. Breathe in and out. Now walk it back, switch legs, and you'll go to the other side. Tuck it in, feel the sit bones, take your fingers, tent them. Breathe in. Breathe out and walk over. So I'm looking for my ribs turning. So I'm getting more of a stretch along the side of my rib cage, but in doing that, by anchoring my hip, I should feel a little bit in my QL, lumbar, all those muscles around the back of my hips. Breathe in and out. Wiggle your hips around a little. Good. And then come up, take your feet, put them together if they're not already there. We're going to butterfly that out. You're going to go up and down, let your shoulders come down a bit. Maybe you want to hold a little bit more here, so try not to be there. Yeah. Now we're going to push. Let's start with your right. Push it down. Now press it up. Now relax and stretch. Push it up. Press it down. Relax and stretch. Push it up. Press it down. Relax and stretch. Ooh, try your other side. Contract, relax, press. So this one doesn't want to go for me. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna squeeze, release, and stretch. It's also about like crossing our legs will do it. All that stuff will do it, right? So we want to squeeze up, relax, and stretch. You're just trying to find the side that's maybe a little bit more like tightened. And then we're just gonna press into it again. We're gonna go up and down. This always helps with my knees. Hello. Stretch, stretch. Sit there and stretch it out. Yeah. Good timing. Yvonne's joining me now so she can stretch it out. Okay, now let's take our legs straight out. So take them right out in front of you. Take your left leg, cross it over your right again. And you want to anchor that hip. Rotate and grab. Pull up, pull your knee in. You should already feel the outside of your hip. Okay, flex the foot that's out. Take a big breath. Can you rotate from your ribs? Just a little. So keep your head where it is. So bring your head back to your chest, right in line with your center. Rotate from your ribs. Yes, it's different and you're gonna feel it deeper. Breathe in and out. Can everybody feel this on the outside chain of your leg and your hip through here? Good. Take 3 deep breaths in and out. Another breath in and out. What I want you to imagine when you breathe in is that you're expanding and you're pulling up towards the ceiling. And when you breathe out, get even taller and rotate a little more. Your breath in stretching might be the most important part. So can we now point the toe that's out there, take the hand, hold it here and pull that knee in even more and rotate your ribs just a little more. Breathe in, rotate, breathe in, rotate, breathe in, rotate. And then unlock that. Try your other side. Sides can be super different. Flex the foot that's out there. Wrap your arm around. Pull it in. You can take one hand and hold the wrist and pull it in. Now remember, you want your chin in line with your sternum, and then when you turn, you're not turning at the head, you're turning at the ribs, and the ribs get super sticky. So remember, try to think about your rib cage like you're twisting it towards the side where the knee is bent. You got it. Flex the foot in front. Breathe in and out. Can you turn a little more? Breathe in. Relax the shoulders. Don't let them come up near your ears. Now, come back to center. Point the toe. The toe in front pointed will change this. I want you to pull in. Take the hand. Put it on the floor behind you. It anchors you. Now, pull and rotate as much as you can. Zip. Rotate, 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 rotate. Wait until you feel something along the outside of your rib cage. Breathe. In and out. Breathe in and out. Oh, I feel that right in my glute, which is nice. Like we really want to anchor down and then feel that glute. You always have the option of picking up the arm that's away from you and picking it up. We didn't do it the other side, but you can try that, see what that does, if that helps. Yep. And then we're going to come into a little bit of cat-cow, but we're going to get super movement through this. So I don't know if you want something under your, oh, you're okay under your knees. Tuck your toes under for me. Walk your knees closer. And I want you to think about, so drop your chin to your chest. And then start to push your shoulders up. And then start to tuck your tailbone under. And then make it like this sequential movement where you're trying to take your spine and your vertebra and open tiny space through each one. Now untuck your toes if they're tucked. Take a deep breath in. Walk your hands closer to your knees. Drop your chin more. Breathe. In and out. 3 times. I feel this all along my back in one spot on the right and the other spot on the left. Now super slow. Draw your low abs in. Flip your tailbone. So it's going to go up and behind you. Now lift your chin. Walk your hands forward. Pull your hips up and back. Let your belly drop. So you're going to keep going down, down, down. Bend your elbows and then push away from the floor. Drop your head. Let the back of your neck get long. Open. So I want you to press up. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now flip your tailbone towards the ceiling behind you. Drop your belly. But then, before your neck comes up, pull the front of your body in like you've got an elastic from your sternum to your chin. Hold this, like press those arms down. Spin your elbows in towards each other a bit for me. So turn them in a tiny bit at the thumb. Yes. Now round. Now push yourself back. Only as far as you can go where you're getting that stretch along the outside. Don't let your shoulders come near your ears, and then bring it forward. Okay, 3 like that. You're gonna push away. So think about making space on your shoulder blades. If you think about all the muscles on your shoulder blades, you're kind of sliding them back, sliding them forward. And then you're gonna do that with your tailbone. Now flip, push back, and bring it in. So you're kind of going up and in. Think about your waist. Up, so push your butt back and bring it in. Push it back and bring it in. Okay, now you're in this position, slide yourself forward, take your left leg, bring it forward. You're gonna get the back quad. I cannot stress how important in this position it is. Yes, perfect. Okay, you're gonna take the arm of the leg that's behind you, lift it straight up. Okay, anchor yourself. So I want you to think, we're gonna be doing opposite, but that's okay. Think about where your buttons are, pull it up. Reach the arm up higher. Push this hip forward. Yes, stay there. I need you to take 3 deep breaths in. Gail knows this one because this was her physio exercise. Yep, breathe. You should feel that all through here. You feeling that? Yep. Okay, let's play with it. Make me some circles. Keep pulling up towards the ceiling. Not from the shoulder, but from here. Circle the other way. Oh my goodness, that is a tight hip. Try the other one. So I like to think about almost like I was stuck between 2. Step it forward. Yes. Push that hip forward. Take the arm up and breathe. Yes. Okay. Think about your arm connected to your chest connected to your hips connected to your knee. Make that line solid. Open. If you want, you can put your hand on the other hip and make sure it lines up. Open. Breathe. Yes. Now circle it. You're gonna find that circle gives you real information about where you're tight. I know, it's tension, right? Circle. Circle, give yourself that standing stretch. Yeah, if it's on your, and good idea. She's taking a little towel and put it down. Give yourself those circles. Good. Okay, when we're done with those, take an extra second. We're gonna stand and we're gonna end with a quad stretch standing. Feel free to hold the wall if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not gonna hold the wall. I'm gonna step back on one foot, not a lot though. Bend, now watch what I do with my foot. I'm gonna push it back and then I'm gonna bend again. I'm gonna push it back. Zip here. Bend and press. Back heel only. Bend and press. So it's almost like as I bring my heel up a little, my tailbone tucks and then I push it back. Tuck and push it back. Tuck and push it back. Now you know you can add the arm up. Good. Now bend the knee deeper. Let the arm go up and then step up, tap the thigh. 2 more like this. Lift. Oh my goodness. This is where I need it the most. Right through here. That's it. Good. And lift. Oh my God, my quads are so tight. You've got another side to do. Don't forget that. Okay, other leg steps back. I like to be on a surface that's not super slippery. You're okay there, but just kind of think bend and then push the heel behind you back. Try to keep your knee where it is. Just push the heel back. So obviously your knee will go a little bit, just yes. And then bring it in and push. It's tricky because your body's gonna wanna help you with this. I want you to push that back hip forward. Press the heel back. Okay, now the arm can go up. You're gonna lift. You're gonna bend that knee. Oh my goodness. Continue to pull that arm up as you go down. And then tap. Lift. Everybody's gonna feel that wiggle, but I want you to think straight up, straight down. Find the line in the front of your body that is constantly in flexion. One more. Up. And back, and then just give these feet a little bit of a, kind of almost like you're just going into a tiny forward fold. Yeah, just work the feet, rotate in and out. Yeah, just a little movement here. And then try the other one. Oh my God, my hips are so tight. I guess that's like driving and all the stuff we do. Rotate in and out. And then you're gonna end with this nice open-legged forward fold. Let those arms go. Let the head drop. Turn your toes in if that feels better, or keep them turned out. Whatever helps you to feel more connected. Now, all I want you to do is let your arms swing naturally. They're all going to have this swing that kind of feels like maybe one goes a little bigger than the other. And then start to straighten your knees a bit. Let those arms continue to swing. And then let the hands be just about where your knees are. Lift one hip up towards the ceiling. The other hand will naturally drop. Shift and try the other one. This is a variation of all that inner thigh stretching we did at the beginning. Shift again. Shift again. And then you're going to push your feet into the floor, turn them forward, roll up one vertebra at a time, squeeze your glutes, arms go all the way over your body, pull your ribs in, push back, open. And then one arm at a time. This is how we end. This was how, I think this is one of the reasons I fell in love with this. I was like, oh, right. Up, and then push this chest forward, press your arm back. So chest forward, arm back. Oh boy. And then try the other side. Round and pick it up. Think up, up, up. Push your chest forward and your arm goes back. So you're on an angle. You're creating space. And then both again. Lift it up, push it back. And then shake it out. Oh, did you hear that pop? That was my knee. And you're done.